First words Amanda Hess wrote about how the word petty was reclaimed and then quickly appropriated. Trump's pettiness was on full display during the Republican primary season when, in his lame attempts to be humorous at someone else's expense, he adopted insulting names for his political opponents. Lying Ted, Low Energy Jeb, Little Marco come to mind. Of course, lacking any creative pettiness, Lying Ted morphed into Crooked Hillary for the general election. Then there is his favorite, go-to-petty insult for Senator Elizabeth Warren, Pocahontas, when he has an onset of nastiness directed at her. Now, unfortunately, his pettiness has gone dangerously international with his Little Rocket Man insult of North Korea's leader. Some foreign policy experts fear that this petty insult could even lead to war. Such a catastrophic outcome would, ironically, be a most unpetty result of Trump's innate, pathological pettiness. Heaven help us. John Grillo, Edgewater, MD.RE, Title IX. Catherine Joyce wrote about the ideological debate over Title IX and due process in campus sexual assault cases. Those who argue that schools should not be prosecuting these accused men are completely missing an important point. An undergraduate education is an encompassing social enterprise. Participation in campus life is both voluntary and also frequently required. Many universities require students to live on campus. Every school has a code of conduct, compliance with which is necessary for participation. The schools have every right and responsibility to enforce compliance with that code of conduct. If you cheat on a test, you are not committing a crime, your case is not referred to police, but you may be expelled from school. And rightly so. Being dismissed from school is a form of discipline, and it has negative effects on those so disciplined, but to argue that those accused of violating their school's code of conduct policy should have the same recourse to due process as a citizen prosecuted by the district attorney for rape is disingenuous. When a school investigates and assigns responsibility, it does not put anyone in jail. Yes, this means schools are being held to a higher standard of behavior than that demanded by society at large. Those young men thus dismissed may still vote, get a job or a bank loan and pursue a higher education elsewhere, for instance, at the University of Phoenix. If these young men just stayed sober and kept their pants on, they would not be having these problems. Sound familiar? I jest, but I am sensitive to the importance of the issue. Enzbziana, PA, on NewYorkTimes.com. We have got to fix the justice system before anyone can even think that it's a reasonable option for survivors to turn to. A lot of rapes are ones that women already know aren't going to be prosecuted, a long-term emotionally abusive boyfriend who pushes past the consensual petting that turns into non-consensual sex that doesn't involve bruises, drinking or drugs. Should nothing happen to those rapists? That's the other side of the coin. Rapists going around with zero consequences because our justice system systematically fails rape survivors. The college system sucks, but it's better than nothing. And nothing is what the justice system usually provides. Melissa Litwin, Plano, Texas, on NewYorkTimes.com. This story recounts recent changes to the Office for Civil Rights of the Federal Department of Education's responses to sexual assault complaints under Title IX from the perspective of those seeking to scale back enforcement. The debate over enforcement encompasses difficult questions about how to create meaningful opportunities for complaints while respecting due process for those accused. Nevertheless, the article minimizes the key point that Title IX is an anti-discrimination statute. Any discussion of procedural protections under Title IX should treat those complaints like other claims of sex, race, or other forms of prohibited discrimination, which interfere with students' access to an equal education and violate their civil rights. Julie Goldschede, Professor, CUNY School of Law.